Hey guys, I'm Jerry Miculek, and as you well know, on the range, flags on the long guns is what I'm all about. And another aspect of range safety we're going to talk about, we have Mr. Steven here, and this is something I look for every time I'm on the range. So Steven's going to give us a heads up on that. What you got here, young man?
My name is Steven Kennedy. I have a company called Steve's Snaketuary. We rescue snakes and we do educational presentations with them. I'm a firefighter and advanced EMT.
Okay.
And I do have my permits through Wildlife and Fisheries through the state of Louisiana and through Animal Control to rescue snakes and to also keep them. So we're going to talk about snakes.
You know, just the other day, the warm spell came. There was 3 water moccasins out on the back rifle range within just a few minutes of one another. There was 3 large water moccasins. So I think you brought one.
Yes, sir, I did. I brought several moccasins, and I brought a lot of local snakes that we have here in Louisiana because a lot of times people get a lot of these snakes confused with water moccasins and other snakes. So I brought several snakes that we could put side by side. So you know, we can show some of the differences.
Pull us out a water moccasin.
You want to see a water moccasin?
That's one of my favorites.
All right.
When I'm out around on the range, guys, if I'm going to move a piece of equipment, pick up a board, do anything that's something on the ground or step over it, I'm always watching for these guys because they will surprise you. Especially in the springtime, middle of the summer, they come out later in the day, but he'll take out a good water moccasin here and give you an idea of why we keep our eyes open on the range.
Now I brought a couple of different moccasins to show too. You know, if you want to hold these up side by side, here's a pretty good sized moccasin. I do want to state though that the gloves that I have, they don't say that they're bite proof. They say they're bite resistant, but that's what these are made for. These are actually specially made gloves.
Yeah. This
is a water moccasin right here.
That's a nice one.
It's a pretty good size, wrapped up around the copperhead right there. Now the water moccasins do have the quote-unquote diamond or triangle shaped head. That's because they have their venom glands in their jaws.
And you can smell them too.
Yeah, they do give off a musk. And
a lot of times I actually smell them before I see them.
Yep, exactly. So, I know if I'm around the pond, I know, you know, if there's one around, I can smell it.
Yep.
Yeah, but and they do have there's things I want to talk about. They do have the cat slit pupils. But of course, I don't tell anybody to get close enough to look at the pupils. You know, I don't want anybody to get close enough to get bit or anything.
Yep, he's a pretty one.
Yep. But there he is.
Talk to me, Bubba.
Yeah. They do hold their mouths open. And that's why they call them. That's why they call water moccasins cotton mouths, because when they hold their mouths open, they're as white as cotton.
Yep. He's sensed all his brethren that I've sent to the yonder land. So
yeah. Let me get a couple more out if you don't mind.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good size one.
That's a nice one.
I brought some smaller ones. This is a smaller water moccasin here, and you can actually see the patterns. And I like to call these like little lightning bolts going down the side. They look like little lightning bolts or little pixelated patterns.
Yeah.
And he's actually still got the little greenish, yellowish tip on his tail too. They use that to lure their prey. And but as they get older, they get darker and they lose those patterns.
Yes, indeed.
And I brought some little copperheads also. A lot of people get these confused. Now the copperheads, most of the time, the copperheads have the classic Hershey Kiss shapes on the side. It looks like a little Hershey Kiss on the side, or if you look at it from the top, it looks like an hourglass.
Yep.
And these guys will always stay this. They'll have that lighter color, and they keep those patterns.
One thing I find about the copperheads, they blend in so well with the leaves on the ground and the pine needles. When I'm walking, I'm always looking for one of these guys.
Yeah.
They're the hardest to see.
Yep.
And they're very, very plentiful here. I've seen them everywhere. So that's one of the things I really watch for, are the copperheads.
Right. Yeah, and both of these guys, these guys have the cat slit pupils also, again, but, one thing, their eyes dilate just like people's. So, their eyes don't always have that cat slit pupil. If it gets dark, they'll dilate and they get, they get more round. So they don't always stay that cat slit pupil. But these guys, both the water moccasins and the copperheads have a hemotoxic venom. And so it messes with your blood system.
Well, you got a big one in there, too.
Yeah, we got a pretty good size one down in here.
Yeah,
he's a little lighter than the other one. Yeah, they get a pretty good size.
That's why we always keep... These don't seem to be as aggressive as the water moccasin. They tend to go the other way. The water moccasin wants to stand his ground. These guys usually scoot around and leave. But they are as venomous, I would think.
Yeah, they have about the same. They're about the same potency. And one thing too, I hear all the time people say a water moccasin will chase you. I've caught hundreds of water moccasins. I've never had one chase me.
I hadn't either. These they usually stand their ground.
Yeah, they'll stand their ground, and a snake's only defense is to either bite or get away.
Right.
And sometimes they just happen to get away in your area.
Which true.
So, but they don't chase it. They'll stand their ground though.
That's like a blue runner.
Yeah, blue racer. Yeah, yeah.
We call them blue runners or coach whips or
coach whips. Blue racers are all in the same family.
Yeah, you see a lot of those on the berm. I'll let those guys do their job.
Right.
Is that what you have here?
I've got a couple of different snakes in here. These are non-venomous here. And I brought 2 rat snakes and 2 different types of water snakes because a lot of people get these confused with venomous snakes. And this is a rat snake. Some people call them chicken snakes because they find them in their chicken coop all the time.
Egg eater.
Yep, and these guys will get quite large. And both of these rat snakes, and I've got a diamondback water snake.
Yep.
And a yellow belly water snake. And all of these here, they'll flatten their heads out into that diamond or triangle shape.
Yeah, yeah.
And so that's why a lot of people get these confused with the water moccasins, because they'll flatten their heads out. So I tell people you can't always go by the head shape. And these guys too, they don't have rattles, but they will rattle their tails against leaves and dead grass to sound like a rattlesnake.
I've seen these guys on the side of a tree.
Mm-hmm.
They love to rob nests. You see them just like stuck to the side of a tree.
Yep.
And they can climb just about anywhere.
Yep. Yeah, the rat snakes, a lot of times when people tell me they have a snake in their attic or up over their door, I know exactly what it is. These guys will climb walls and trees to eat birds.
There's a lot of those back on the pistol bays. It's pretty interesting.
You know why a snake's tongue is forked?
I do not. Pick up more.
Right, they smell and they taste with their tongue, but their tongue is forked because if they're chasing their prey, they know whether to go left or right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just thought it was more surface area.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's actually tell what direction to go in. Yep.
So what you got here?
I got 2 canebrake rattlesnakes or timber rattlesnakes. Yeah. I brought a little darker one and I brought a little lighter one. And one thing I do want to show with this one, let me get my gloves back on here.
Yeah, these guys on the property everywhere. They'll cross on that little road right in front of the house, right in the corner of the road. I don't know why it is, in one section of woods to the other, but that's their path right there. And these are the guys that I really watch out on. They'll be on a pistol range occasionally, but anytime I move equipment, this is what I'm looking for, because these guys can do some.
Oh yeah, they can do some serious damage. Yeah, exactly.
They'll get your attention.
I'm gonna be real careful with these. You know, like I said, these aren't bite-proof gloves; they're bite-resistant. But
I'm gonna give you. Some space.
Pause real quick. Do we need to give Jerry an out, or are you good, Jerry, right there?
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay. One thing I want to show. One thing I want to show with these guys is this smaller one he's got more rattles than the bigger one, and that's one thing. You know, a lot of people say that the. Let me try to find the tail of this. Yeah. Some people think you can tell how old it is by the rattles, but their rattles will actually break off.
Okay.
And so you can't always go by that. I've actually got a canebrake that's larger than this one at home, and it only has 2 rattles because his rattles broke off. But I brought a darker one. They can be darker, they can be lighter, and they blend in very well. They're just like the copperheads. They can blend in very well.
Got a technical question. Is it legal to actually destroy them on your private property?
Not in Louisiana. In Texas it is.
It's not Louisiana.
Yeah.
Okay.
In Texas it's actually illegal. So, but in Louisiana, yeah, our laws are a little lax there. So
you can or you can't?
You can, but I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. The one reason I don't recommend killing snakes, all snakes have their purpose.
Yeah.
They actually tracked several timber rattlesnakes. In 2013, they put trackers in some of them in a state, and they found out that the timber rattlesnakes in that area were stopping the spread of Lyme disease.
Okay.
Because ticks will get on the mice, and you know, you go out in the woods and you get a tick on you, you can get Lyme disease. And when they put those trackers, they actually found that they were stopping the spread of Lyme disease.
One thing we had this year, we had a bumper crop of acorns,
and
the rat and mite population exploded.
Right.
So these guys must be doing their job. Continuously monitoring the mice.
Exactly.
And the rats, because they've gotten everywhere this fall, so pretty good.
And then a lot of things. One thing that a lot of people don't know too is that they're actually using snake venom now to cure cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and help stroke victims. So you know, even the venomous snakes have their purpose. You know, they're here for a reason. They're using them for medicine now, and like you mentioned, they're keeping the rodent population in check too. So they all have their purpose. So
keep your eyes open.
Yep. And I brought 2 more snakes. We have several local snakes here in Louisiana, and I only brought a couple of them with me. This one right here is one that a lot of people know about. This is a speckled king snake.
Yeah.
And a lot of people know about these because they like to keep these around because king snakes eat other snakes, and they even eat venomous snakes. So a lot of people know about this one. A lot of people keep these around.
Quite a few on the property.
Yeah. And
Quite a few of them.
Another snake, though, if he'll stay back in the...
He wants to go play.
Yeah, he wants to go play. This is another type of king snake that we have here that a lot of people don't know about, and this is actually a prairie king snake. And these guys here, they
look a little poisonous, don't they? They've got that color to them.
Yep. And sometimes you can actually see the patterns a little bit better on their back. They have little squares all down their back. And but these guys stay underground a lot. And
his backbone's a little different. He's a little bit more pointy than the spotted.
Yep. But this is a prairie king snake. These guys will eat other snakes also.
Is that common to this area too?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can't ever recall seeing one of those on the property. So
yep.
Kind of different. Got that ridge on his back.
Yep.
Kind of very distinctive feature there.
Yeah. So these are, like I said, just some of the most common snakes that people will see around here in Louisiana, and sometimes in Texas. We have, these are all over in Texas also, and a lot of these people get mixed up with each other. They think like I said, the rat snakes are water snakes or water moccasins or rattlesnakes and things like that.
Okay. Okay, Steve, when you find these on the range, what do I do? What's the best thing to do?
The best thing to do is just leave a snake alone. A snake's not out to get you. It's not gonna. Yep. It's not out to kill you or anything like that.
Yep.
Snakes aren't gonna chase you. Best thing to do is leave it alone. And another thing to do, just in case you find one and it's not leaving your property, you can call a snake expert like me. If you're in the northwest of Louisiana, I'm available. If not, you can contact your local animal control and they can handle that for you. If in the event that somebody does get bit, you've got plenty of time to get to the hospital. We've got several hospitals, locally that carry antivenom. The best thing to do is just stay calm. I know that's easier said than done. The best thing to do is stay calm because it lowers your heart rate and your breathing rate, and lay flat, remove any jewelry, and just get to the hospital. That's the best thing to do.
Well, that's sound advice. But if you're interested in Steve and his Facebook and his YouTube channel, there will be a link in the description box below. So, part of range safety, guys, got to live with nature. Get some.